This is the story of a player and his team. The player, Cade Cunningham from Arlington, Texas, grew up to be a winner. He was the National High School Player of the Year, Big 12 Player of the Year, and a gold medalist with the USA's Under-19 team. The team, Detroit Pistons, has not been a winner as of late. The team had a history of being the most dominant team in the Eastern Conference in the late 80s and the early 2000s, but hasn't won a single playoff series since 2008. Cade and the Pistons met on July 29, 2021, when they drafted him first overall. This is the story of a player and his team, and how they find a way to win together.
NBA draft, the Detroit Pistons select Cade Cunningham from Oklahoma State University.
It was just getting started. Things were starting to get better. Cade is coming off his rookie season, a season in which he finished top 3 in Rookie of the Year voting. He was just getting comfortable to take his game to the next level. In the second half of his rookie season, his numbers had significant jumps from the first half, all showing that he was ready. Year 2 was about to be different. But what about his team?
Detroit, I'm all the way in. Detroit Pistons, I'm all the way in. Let's do it.
The Pistons were the worst team in the East in the 2020-21 season. That's why they ended up with the top pick in the draft and got Cade on their team. This franchise had not been relevant for a really long time, and the emergence of Cade was just in time for the building of this next generation of Pistons. A future that the whole city of Detroit can finally look forward to, instead of looking up the rafters and remembering all the glory from the past. The rest of the Pistons roster was pretty bad, of course, filled with a bunch of young but raw talent that needed time to develop. Sounds just about normal for a team that needs to rebuild. They've got Isaiah Stewart, the 16th pick from the 2020 draft, and Killian Hayes, the 7th pick from the 2020 draft. The plan was for them to grow with Cade, so that maybe in a couple years, they can be good together.
Cade! No. They're working inside. Cunningham with time. Off the mark. He's got the no good. Carter Jr. there to clean it up. Cade Cunningham step back, tripping the. Cunningham with the spin, loses the handle. Cunningham looking for assist to Harris. Back to Cunningham. 5 on the clock. Cunningham bothered a second about it. Slings it out. Cade!
This was the stat line for Cade's first ever NBA game. The reason for this terrible start was that the Pistons roster didn't really fit Cade's playstyle. Cade was drafted number 1 overall because he was the most mature talent coming out of the 2021 draft class. He could shoot, create his own shot, and play make. His mental maturity and leadership at just age 19 was also a major reason why he was the number 1 overall pick. However, for Cade, he was not the most athletic player, which meant he needed spacing to be able to generate efficient offense. But the Pistons just so happened to be one of the worst shooting teams in the league. Only 2 players on this team had 3-point percentage over league average. Cade as a point guard needed a center that could play quality pick and roll with him, but the entire Detroit roster didn't have a single player who had the skill. It was a rough start to Cade's NBA career. He still needed time to adjust himself before he was ready to take this team to the next level. Detroit was still terrible in the 2021-2022 season. Thus, they still got a high draft pick to improve their team. Jaden Ivey, an athletic slashing guard who still needed improvements from his jump shooting and playmaking. They also traded for the 13th pick and got Jalen Duran, a center that can finally play pick and roll with Cade. And there was another addition, Bojan Bogdanovic, a veteran wing that could do a little bit of everything. and he was a career 39% three-point shooter. Things looked like they were finally trending upwards.
Signing Cade Cunningham, he is done for the season. According to Woj, he plans on having season-ending surgery on his left shin.
I just told the guys that this is my last game. Yeah, I've been moving to the front office, and we'll have a more of a official meeting later on this week. But it's been a good 44 years.
With Cade being out, the Pistons only won 17 games all season, the worst in the entire NBA. Coach Dwayne Casey resigned from his position after 4 straight seasons of winning fewer than 25 games. However, even though they were bad, there were still things to appreciate from the season. Jaden Ivey gets a lot of time to shine in Cade's absence, and has proved he had scoring and playmaking skills that can transition to the NBA level. Jalen Duren was a quality center for a rookie. He even had the highest win share on this team. In one of the worst seasons in franchise history, there were still things to look forward to. Next year was going to be different once Cade came back, but what Troy Weaver and the management team did kind of said it otherwise. Instead of acquiring veteran NBA players that can be rotational pieces to their young core, they kept on stacking raw talents onto this roster, as if they didn't have enough talent they needed to develop. Players like James Wiseman, Marvin Bagley, and Kevin Knox, who were former top 10 picks but failed to achieve their potential, joined the Pistons and were given big minutes on the rotation. Cade's third year with the Pistons began. After being out for almost a year, he was back and ready to go on opening day, hoping this year it could all be different. And it sure did look like it was to begin this season.
Thing is, as a 2-possession game, there's a swipe by Cade. Lobs it. And a conversion for Jalen Duren. He showed that ability to fight back from large deficits in the preseason, in every game, I believe. They force a turnover here. Cade with a shot on the other end. It's down from downtown. Killian Hayes from the sideline. Fake and the shot. No. Isaiah Stewart misses. Sarge Thompson with a rebound. Back to Stewart. He scores it. Beach 2 Season Avenue gets to the basket. For a deuce. Damn. Alec Burks in forecourt. This for 3 and it's through. How's the clock? Shot deflected by Andre Drummond. Still time. Ivy 3. Oh, got it. Sarge Thompson. Pistons are cooking. Thompson. Oh, mercy. Come on.
And that will do it. Tell you what, that was a big dunk for some of you.
After Casey left the job, General Manager Troy Weaver brought Monty Williams to be the new head coach for the Pistons. Monty had previously gone to the NBA Finals as the head coach of the Phoenix Suns in 2021, which was why the Pistons gave him the biggest coaching contract in history, a 6-year, $78.5 million deal, hoping he could turn things around for the city of Detroit.
Bogdanovich to the basket with 2 seconds left to make it 131 to 123. The Pistons dropped their 20th straight.
Remember what I said when Cade was drafted in 2021? Cade was drafted number 1 overall because he was the most mature talent coming out of the 2021 draft class. He could shoot, create his own shot, and play make. However, for Cade, he was not the most athletic player, which meant he needed spacing to be able to generate efficient offense. Almost 3 years later, the Pistons were still one of the worst shooting teams in the entire NBA. Only 2 players on this team that played over 50 games shot over 35% from 3. What's more, spacing wasn't the only bad thing that was with this Pistons team. Monty Williams' rotation was also a really big problem. Killian Hayes, as I mentioned before, was the 7th overall pick in the 2020 draft. After 3 years of being in the league, he was still one of the worst offensive players. He's got a lot of opportunities in Cade's absence last year, but still couldn't produce anything efficiently. He still had playmaking potential, but it's hard to play make when you had a field goal percentage under 40 and a 3-point percentage under 30. But Monty just decided to start Killian as the primary shooting guard alongside Cade to begin this season, and didn't put the development of Ivy in front of Hayes. Plus the Bogdanovich injury, Detroit had basically no shooting for the first 2 months of the season. What's more was that Monty would keep running Kevin Knox and Isaiah Livers in the rotation and gave them over 15 minutes of playing time when they were straight up terrible. This was the result of the front office keep stacking raw talents and not signing enough veterans to help strengthen the roster. And just like that, the Pistons kept on losing.
Cunningham. No, he's out of bounds. They missed it. Here comes Cunningham. He hits a three.
You forced to help. He does a good job of seeing Yeka wide open. You see Cade Cunningham.
Trey is just putting on a pick and roll clinic tonight. Cunningham. He's gone 6 for 6 in the fourth quarter and has 38 points. And Cunningham hits a three.
In the middle of this misery, Cade actually had significant jump to his game. In the same amount of playing time, he had career high in points and assists, while keeping his turnover the same as last season. He also took a big jump in his efficiency, shooting a career high in field goal, 3-point, and free throws. He elevated himself to almost all-star level, but he just couldn't lead his team with him. Throughout this journey, Cade has always taken the responsibility of losing onto himself. He had not once complained about his teammates, coaches, or the front office. He just kept on trying to keep the locker room together, even though there was no end in sight to this losing streak.
Don't jump off the boat. We gotta stay together. Right now is the easiest time to stand off and be on your own. But we need to continue to lean on each other and continue to push each other and hold each other accountable more than ever now.
7:35 left. Cade to forecourt. Screen from Bagley. Cade shot. Yes! Screen from Bagley. Jaden fires, fills it up. Forecourt. Bojan Bogdanovich for three. And that one splashes through. Snaps the pass. Colin Sexton, corner gun, won't go. Dunn tapped it outside. Heads up play. Olenek for three. And it's through.
The thing was, the Pistons were able to keep games close. They played 12 games that went into clutch time during this losing streak, which means games that go into the last 5 minutes and the score is within 5 points. The Pistons were able to keep games competitive. They just weren't able to close it.
Burks gets it in to Cade for three. Off the mark. Bogdanovich puts it up and in. Still time. Pistons with a 2-point lead. Derek White had a scheme. Oh, they say count the bucket. Tatum back out front. Derek White. Derek White. Time to Porzingis. Thought about it. And somehow Derek White left the line underneath. Bogdanovich. Deep three. Back on it. No good. Rebound Jason Tatum. Up ahead to Porzingis. Porzingis flushes it home.
Another close game that went down to the wire. Another loss. And with that, the Pistons set the longest losing streak in a single season and dropped to 2-29 on their season. They would go on to win this next game to stamp this miserable streak, but nothing could change the fact that they were going to be one of the worst teams ever.
A difficult season for the Pistons has come to a close.
14-64, the worst record in franchise history. The Pistons fired Monty Williams, even though he was only 1 year into his record-setting contract. They also moved on from Troy Weaver, the man that was behind this entire rebuild. J.B. Bickerstaff and Trajan Langdon was later brought on board to be the next head coach and general manager of the Pistons, as Detroit trying to move on from this disastrous season as fast as possible. Changes happened insanely fast for the Pistons as they moved on from their talent stacking mindset. Veterans like Tobias Harris, Tim Hardaway, Malik Beasley were quickly brought on board in this offseason, making the Pistons now constructed with their young talents, Cade, Ivy, Duran, Thompson, Stewart, and these established veterans. The structure of the roster quickly changed, and the result could be seen immediately.
Just over 3 minutes in.
Right there, you see the Pistons almost 21 points a game in transition over the last 6 games.
Time first-round draft pick of the Pistons. Jaden Ivey from the corner for three, and it's through.
That's great ball movement and recognition.
You can see it from our seat. Here's Jaden Ivey for three, and that one was right on line. Jaden against Cole Anthony. Rocks the dribble, rocks it again, stops, comes for three, and it's through. His third. Jaden Ivey for three, and that one's through. Last hoop was on a steal and stuff for Asar Thompson. Jaden Ivey to the basket. Leading scoop. Here's Cade the long gun. It's off the rim. Tapped outside. Jaden Ivey went for it. Blocked down from behind inadvertently by Cole Anthony, but Jaden Ivey's in a lot of pain.
Lord, Jaden Ivey, Pistons are going to go check him out. Coach is heading to the floor.
Jaden Ivey was averaging 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and shooting over 40% from 3. He was a really good second option next to Cade. After this game, the Pistons were 15-18. They had already won more games than last season, and sat as the 9th seed in the East, making them eligible for the play-in tournament. The playoffs didn't seem like an impossible goal if they keep playing like this. However, as Ivey went down, a season that was finally looking to be successful now had a question mark written all over it. It was like this cycle of misery just kept cursing this Pistons team.
Making his All-Star Game debut, this former #1 overall pick is leading the resurgent Detroit Pistons, Cade Cunningham.
Cade was a different breed after he lost Ivey, as if he was carrying his load along with him. Before Ivey was hurt, Cade was already having major progression to his game, averaging almost 24 points and 10 assists. He sure was already an all-star, but after the team lost Ivey, he was averaging almost 28 points per game on an even higher efficiency. The Pistons nearly doubled their wins in this time period and climbed up to be the 5th seed in the East. Postseason was not a goal in striking distance anymore. All they need to do was hang on to this lead.
And in 10 seconds or less, they are going to clinch a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. They'll avoid the play-in with the win tonight. The magic number was 1, and this is the one.
First up, the 9. It means stop sign on D from Overtime Elite at 6'6". You gotta watch this. Asar Thompson. There's former Tennessee Volunteer, the 12, 6'9", game time shine for Tobias Harris. The center out of Memphis, the one-time Tiger in numero 0 at 6'10". Watch him now, he's gonna work both rims. It's the dog, J.D. Jalen Duren, out of Michigan. The Detroit 8, 6'5". We call him the Torch. THJ, the Shooting Hardaway Jr. On the floor for you, donning the Detroit number 2 in the Piston blue, red, and night tonight from Oklahoma State. Make no mistake, it's the 6'6" Cade Cunningham. Head coach of Detroit Pistons, JB, with the snap.
The fourth quarter, 5-point game. Cade to the basket, left hands it up and in. 112-105 New York. Got it for 3, and it's through. Cade jumping up. Turns it.
between the legs, past Hardaway, a lot of contact, no whistle, special. Hardaway inside the arc, got another one. Tim Hardaway Jr. Towns with 4 to shoot, driving a Durant. Ball away, oh my goodness, how did Towns make that? Towns, long three from Towns, oh my! Driving, pull-up jumper, no good. Harris battling, loose ball on the floor. Picked up, Hardaway, 2 seconds left, puts up the shot, no! And the game is over. JB Bickerstaff is on the floor in rain. He thought there should have been a foul call.
Down Main Street. Cade down the lane. Cade to the rim. But JD gets it back and scores. Pistons up 4. Must-win game. Cade from the lane. Floats it up. Fills it up. Need to win it. Force a game 6 on Thursday. Inside to Broussard. Thompson. Inside. This one. And around. He's got the back in the timeline. Man open. Baseline buries it. Russell from the baseline makes it in and draws a foul. The ball away through the lane. Goes back toward the lane. Russell rises and fires. Spills it with 4.3 to play. On top to Hardaway Jr. Cade in the lead. Ball out of bounds with 0.4 of a second left. The Knicks inbound, and they escape.
A disappointing loss to a very competitive series. This was certainly not the results they were looking for. But this young Pistons team was finally on the track of winning. It took a long time, but Cade and the Pistons finally learned. There's no savior that can just win games for a team. It takes a collective effort from the players, to the coaches, and to the management team. A team that is willing to work and sacrifice together is a team that can win together. A team that can be together all the time is a team that can really win all the time. And for the Detroit Pistons, this path is just beginning.
Launches a 3, and it's wide. And with 0.6 of a second left, school is out, and the Pistons have tied a franchise record with their 13th consecutive win. Wasn't easy, folks, but a W is a W is a W.
It's in the books now.
13 in a row for this group. The Pacers made them earn it, but they win it 122 to 117.
Come on. 2, 1. Hey, you know the Pistons won again.